we are here to see what are clamping devices. This is a point of chapter number 3, locating and clamping devices. I am Mr. P.P. Mangave, lecturer at Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, Polytechnic, Yedrao. Before starting this lecture, I would like to request you all to subscribe and like my channel. Now coming to the content, we'll see what are the summary of the previous lectures, that is of locating devices. What is clamping? Different clamping devices. They can be such as clamping screw, hook clamp, bridge clamp, heel clamp, swing or latch clamp, and last is quick acting clamps. One by one we'll be seeing this all the types of clamps. So as we have seen in the last lecture, what are locating devices? Locating devices are such devices that are used to locate a workpiece with the reference to jig or a fixture plate, or with reference to the machining table for the purpose of machining operations. So there are different types of locating devices. To the extreme left you can see a cylindrical locator. Before starting to these types of locating devices or devices are mainly further classified into two types of bodies. That is, one is the main body, one is the main part, and another is the body. The main part is that which locates the workpiece, while the body is fixed into the jig or a fixture plate, or you can simply call it as a work table. First type is cylindrical locators. This type of locators, as the name itself suggests, they are cylindrical in shape. This type of locators are mostly used where the hole size is accurate, or there are no variations in the hole size, or wherever there are previously drilled holes are available for locating the workpieces. Conical locators are used where there are variations in the hole size, so that they can be accompanied by the slanting slide of the conical locator. Supporting locating pins are those types of locating devices where they only support the workpiece against the operation or work table. They can be again conical type, flathead type. Flathead type are mostly used where there is a machined surface available, and conical type is used where there are casting or other surfaces available for supporting. Next are screw jack pins, V locators, diamond pin locators. Screw jack pins are again used to press the pin at a certain distance, that is to maintain a distance between the workpiece and the machining table, and these pins are locked with the help of locking screws. Next is V locators. Whenever there are circular, or simply you can call a workpiece with semicircular or circular surface, you can use a V-shaped locator. Now, what are diamond pins or diamond pin locators? Whenever there is a variation in the different sizes of the same workpiece with two different holes, the distance between the two different holes varies, you can use a diamond pin locator. Coming to the next, what is clamping? So as you have studied in 3-to-1 principle, why it is necessary to restrict the degrees of freedom for ease of machining operations. Okay, so whenever you locate the workpiece with the help of locating devices, sometimes it is not possible to restrict the degrees of freedom of workpiece in all the directions, that is in translatory X, translatory Y, translatory Z, and rotational motion. Similarly in opposite direction, that is 12 degrees of freedom are not easily possible to restrict by simply using locating devices. So here you are required to have a clamping devices, that is you can simply clamp the workpiece against the table so that the workpiece is located easily and hold against the work table easily, so that machining operation is carried out without any changes in the location of the workpiece. Simply you can observe a simple example of a bench vise that you are using in a workshop. That is, a bench vise consists of two moving jaws, so that the jaws are moved with the help of a tightening screw, so that the workpiece is held tightly and the machining operation can be carried out easily. Thus the tightening procedure is nothing but application of a simple clamping force. Now what are different clamping devices? Clamping screws, hook clamp, bridge clamp, heel clamp, swing clamp and quick acting clamp. So one by one we will be seeing what are these clamping devices. So what is a clamping screw? A clamping screw is nothing but a simple screw which helps to exert a clamping pressure onto the workpiece. Consider a simple flat plate workpiece on which is to be located on a work table and which is to be machined or drilled or any other operation is to be carried out. Here this plate is located with the help of locating or support pins against the work table, and then you can see a clamping screw is held above it and tightened with the help of the threaded portion so that the clamping pressure is applied onto the workpiece and it is held against the machining table so that the degrees of freedom are restricted and then you can machine easily. So this type of clamping method or this type of clamping devices can be used wherever you are required only light amount of clamping force is to be applied onto the workpiece, that is for sheet metal and other metal with less thickness or workpieces with very less thicknesses. Coming to the next, that is a hook or a bolt clamp. You can see a hook or a bolt clamp consists of a hook type structure which is again attached to the machine table with the help of a hook bolt, where this is attached to the one side of the machining table and other end is kept free so that one can machine or one can carry out the machining operations on the other end. So before loading the workpiece, what one can do, one can loosen up the hook bolt, insert the workpiece, properly place the hook above the workpiece, then tighten the hook bolt so that the degrees of freedom are restricted and proper clamping force is applied onto the workpiece, and thus the workpiece, all degrees of freedom of the workpiece are restricted by tightening the hook bolt. Now whenever the machining operation is over, one can loosen the hook bolt, one can remove the hook and then workpiece is unloaded. This is a type of a hook type clamp. Next is a bridge type clamp. It is a very simple and reliable type of clamp among all the clamps. Here the clamping force is exerted by a spring and a clamping nut which is again acted upon to a lever. One can see a simple clamping nut is kept at the center. Below that there is a spring, and in between the spring and the clamping nut there is a lever. One side of the lever you can see the workpiece is hold against the machining table and another end is of the bridge clamp is fixed. So before loading the workpiece, the nut is loose so that the lever does not act any pressure. The workpiece is now inserted sideways. Now the clamping nut is tightened and then it helps the spring to compress and thus the lever acts against the workpiece and then the clamping force is acted upon the workpiece. Now here the machining operations are carried out. Now after machining operations are carried out, one has to unload the workpiece. For unloading the workpiece, you have to loosen the clamping nut, that is you have to rotate it anti-clockwise so that the compressed spring now returns to its original position, pushing the lever to the upward side, and thus the distance between the lever and the machining table increases so that the clamping force is gradually decreased and one can remove the workpiece. So here spring plays an important role. When your clamping nut is to be tightened, it compresses and it applies the pressure, clamping pressure on the workpiece, and whenever the clamping nut is loosened, the spring again tends to lift the lever, releasing the clamping pressure. Next is the heel clamp. Now here another type of a clamping device is seen. A heel clamp is same as that of a bridge clamp, but the difference is that a heel clamp can move sideways, that is it consists of a heel at the rightmost bottom. There is similar structure, a lever, a clamping nut and a spring. So whenever you are in case of bridge clamp, whatever you have to do is you have to loosen the nut so that the workpiece is unloaded from the machining table. Now here whatever you have to do, you have to first loosen the nut, you have to insert the workpiece, then you have to move the lever sideways along the heels so that the lever comes over the workpiece, and then you have to tighten the clamping nut so that the lever is exerted pressure or exerted the required clamping pressure against the workpiece so that the degrees of freedom of the workpiece are restricted. Now this clamping force or the force exerted by lever is stored upon by the spring and it gets compressed. Now whenever you have to unload the job, whatever you have to do is you have to loosen the nut so that the compressed spring again tends to expand and pushes the lever towards upper side, thus releases the clamping pressure and the workpiece is free to unload from here. But now you cannot easily unload the workpiece. Now whatever you have to do is you have to push the lever and the heel backwards, and then you have to remove the workpiece so that there is a gliding motion, or simply you can say sliding motion possible for the lever. Okay, so the difference between bridge type and heel type of clamp is in heel type of clamp you can guide the complete lever and another position by simply gliding over the machining table, but in bridge type you cannot glide because there is no heel present. Coming to the next, swing or a latch clamp. Here what is there in a swing or a latch clamp? It simply again consists of one end is fixed. There is a C type latch which is fixed and which is fixed at one end and which can move 90 degrees. So when the latch is moved backwards, the job is loaded, and again the latch is moved further, the job is loaded here, and then with the help of a tightening screw one can tighten, and so that the latch exerts the clamping pressure against the workpiece. So as you can see, the latch when it is moved backwards, one can load or unload the workpiece. After loading, to exert the workpiece with the help of a clamping pressure, the latch is moved further and it is tightened so that the latch exerts the clamping force necessary for restricting the degrees of freedom. So as this type of latch, or you can simply say the nut is fixed and latch can swing from one position to another, therefore this type of clamp is called as a swinging clamp, or you can simply call it as a latch type clamp. So coming to the next, that is quick acting clamp. So previously what we have seen, all the clamping devices require a large amount of time and they increase the cycle time for a production. Now in today's technology increasing, or you can say in today's recent developing world, it is necessary to reduce the cycle time, that is to increase the production rate. So the clamping and declamping, or you can say locating and other operations which are idle operations, they do not increase real productivity, but whenever their count is decreased, they help in increasing the cycle time. So here quick acting clamps are another devices which take very less time, or you can say these quick acting clamps are such type of clamps which are used to exert very less amount of clamping pressure, but they are used so that it can be clamping operation can be done within a less amount of time. So they are again further divided into three types, that is cam operated clamp, quick acting nut and C clamp. Coming to the next, that is cam operated clamp. It is one of the most simple and easily understandable mechanism. The cam operated clamp consists of a lever which is bolted at the center against the spring. One end of the lever, initially all the students have to look to the figure at the left hand side. Initially the lever is bolted at the center. Below the lever plate which is present, one can see a spring is kept at the bottom. To the right hand side, a lever operated cam or a handle operated cam is placed. To the left hand side, the workpiece is placed between the lever and the machining table. So whenever you tend to push the handle below, what it does, that is it pivots the lever so that you push the handle below, that will help the lever of the right hand side portion to the bolt to move downward side and the left hand side of the lever to move to the upward side. This will cause the workpiece to unload easily. Now for the next cycle, what you have to do, you have to place the workpiece. Whatever you have to do is you have to pull the lever to the upper side, so that this lever, right hand side of the lever, when you pull the lever to the upper side, the left hand side of the lever that goes to the bottom, and it tightens or adjusts clamping pressure. Now many of students are confused that whenever you release the handle, what makes the lever to push backward so that the clamping pressure is released? The spring present below the nut helps to release the clamping pressure. Once again I will say, whenever you push the handle below, it will tend the lever to the right hand side to push below, and it will tend the lever to the left hand side to move towards the up hand side, so that the workpiece can be removed easily. Now whenever after placing the workpiece you have to exert the clamping pressure, what you have to do, you have to pull the handle upside, so that the left hand side of the lever plate that will be pushed against the workpiece. So this is how cam operated clamp easily operates. Coming to the next, this is the most important and most reliable clamping or a quick acting clamping device, that is a quick acting nut. Initially one can look at the right hand side figure. The quick acting nut consists of two diameters, that is diameter with flat face is called DN and diameter with threaded face is called as DS. Here always remember DN is greater than DS. Okay, so why quick acting nut, or where the quick acting nut is used? Now one can look to the left hand side figure. The left hand side, where you can see the horizontal lines, that is a jig frame in which the workpiece is to be located. Now after locating the job, you can see at the center the label is there, that is a job, and there is a rod like structure or simply a screw like structure is overcoming with the help of the locating device, or simply you can call this as a cylindrical device or cylindrical locating pin is there. Now to machine this job you have to exert clamping pressure. Now whenever you are inserting this quick acting nut, first how you have to insert, that is by facing the flat face of the nut against the face of the screw, so that here as you can see the screw diameter is DS and that is same with the diameter of the quick acting nut, that is the threaded portion. Now here initially you have to tilt the screw 8 to 10 degrees. Now what you will do, remaining the vertical position of the screw, you have to insert the nut by touching the flat face of the nut towards the screw, and then you have to rotate one turn and then push the nut inside. Now whenever you are rotating the nut by one turn, what will happen, it will locate or it will lock the screwed portion of the nut against the screwed portion of the screw, so that will exert the clamping pressure required. Now most of the students are still in doubt whether which face is to be locked. So coming to the next figure, as you can see in the first figure, that is bottom to the left hand side, the flat face are inserted first, the screw is then rotated perpendicular, and then it helps the screwed portion of the nut to locate or lock with the screw, so that the clamping pressure is located. Now again one can see initially from the straight hole the nut is fitted, then it is rotated perpendicular, and then the screwed portion or threaded portion exerts the clamping pressure, as you can see in the figure below. Okay, now here why this type of quick acting nuts are used? Here quick acting nuts are used because whenever the screw portion or the threaded portion of the screw is larger, it takes more time for a nut to pass over, and thus it will again increase the cycle time. So such type of quick acting nuts are used. For another or easy purpose, on YouTube anyone can search quick acting nut demonstration, or you can say animation of quick acting nut, you will clearly understand how a quick acting nut performs its function. Now coming to the last type, that is C-type clamp. You can see a workpiece is consisting of a nut type arrangement. A C-type clamp is fitted whenever the workpiece can clearly removed by using a swinging away technique, that is, for applying the required clamping pressure, the workpiece is swinged away and locked inside the C type of clamp, and then the nut is tightened so that equal clamping pressure is applied by the C type of clamp plate. So for loading this, one has to swing the workpiece back to the C clamp and then tighten the screw so that the C clamp exerts proper clamping pressure, and thus machining operation can be done by restricting the degrees of freedom. Now for unloading the workpiece, you have to loosen the nut, you have to remove the workpiece from the C clamp, and then you can unload. So these are the different types of quick acting devices or quick acting clamps that we have seen. In the next lecture we will be seeing ejecting devices and then what is meant by foolproofing. Thank you.